Hey everyone, it's Andy's free guitar chart videos here. Welcome to my YouTube subscribers and my Facebook group friends, and anyone who's found this video, like and subscribe. Tell your friends about Andy's free guitar chart videos. The best way to learn guitar for those who like to do things systematically, like charts and engineering students and scientists of some sort, music scientists, and anyone who really just wants to learn guitar, because I've made it as easy for myself as possible, and so I do the work with the charts and to make them easy so we can play. I'm going to be looking at 3 charts today: 502, 503, and 504. They're the latest and the greatest chart. We're actually going to be looking back at 503 before we go to use 502 rather. Half diminished chord shaped subs. So we want to finish up from last time the half diminished. So I made it easy here to look at the half diminished fretboard. Alright, so we've got our half diminished fretboard right here. It has its own little guitar insignia, and that's just the orientation of the fretboard. It's a longer than life fretboard. Okay, the actual hole in the guitar would be somewhere around here. So they're all hypothetically longer extended fretboards so that we can easily see all the cages in the modal fretboard. Okay, modally it'd be like this, roughly, just sound wise, but we're not going to be doing it in all 12 keys like okay, so we don't need that much information. So we want to look at the substitution for it, and we'll finish up the half diminished. So of course we have a nice Ionian fretboard up here. It has root 3/5. Okay, it has the pentatonic scale, but we're really just looking at root 3/5, and we could even add 7 here, but we haven't because we're not going to be, there's only one shape out of all the modal cages, let's say, that uses the major 7th in the Ionian, and that would be in the Lydian. We'll go over there for a second. Here's our Lydian box here. Okay, and this here we have the Lydian is defined by, as you know, starting on the 4. So here's your E, here's my C. I'm down C tuned. E-shaped C. Here's your E, and here's an E-shaped F. Okay, so I'm going to put the capo on that F so that we can truly define a Lydian long cage. Notice we have this fret here for the short cage. If we didn't have the capo there, we could definitely play the E shape or the E pentatonic starting from the 4th, just subbing it in, as opposed to. And by the way, on piano, I know piano so well that I practically derive everything each time, and that's not true on the guitar, which is interesting. So this would be our Lydian, and we see we have a half-shaped symbol here for the C, because the C would be 5 root 3, 5 root 3 up here, okay, as it would be in the Lydian cage that starts on the 3. So we have that half shape there, and that would be 5 root 3. We can't get that 5. We don't want to play a 6th chord because that's like an A minor, which is nice. It would be nice to just play first inversion of the natural minor of C. We're going to be playing the C major 7th there, so we've got to go way up here for this 7 in that case, open string root, and then up here for this 5. So we'd be hitting these 4 notes maybe in the bottom 5 strings or the top 5 strings. We might. I'll be honest with you, I've been working on chart 504, which is like a new method just of charting things that we want to do in the larger cages to help us navigate in the cage in the pentatonic directions and the 5ths and the 4ths. For now, we're just going to finish up Locrian. Want to look at those Locrian shapes. So this is kind of like a fretboard up top. I know it looks like a missile, but this is the hole in the guitar here, you know. And each one of these cages now, of course, we're probably way down here. Look at this Aeolian cage right here. Okay, so this Aeolian cage right here is right here on my guitar. Okay, the Dorian cage is down here. The Mixolydian cage is up here. So these actually don't go straight like that unless we spread the guitar out like so. We'll look at this is the Ionian cage down here, starting here, way down here. Then we go up here actually to the Mixolydian cage. Then this Dorian is actually way up here is what I'm saying. But I take the octave down there. This is the Aeolian cage. This is an octave below up here, this super high. Okay, so that's what's really happening there. And then an octave below where this would be. So this is totally hypothetical, this scheme up here. So our octave below that would be where your fret note is, and that would be the Phrygian cage. We look at it, we've got our chord shapes CA, D minor to C minor, E minor to a D minor shaped D minor, E major, and then we have a D shaped because E goes to D in the word cage, and that's important when we're going to the right. We're going in the caged word, E to D to C, and then up here we have a C-shaped F to C again, and A, G, E. Okay, C, A, G, E. And then we have a G-shaped G to an E-shaped G, and then an A minor to a D minor, a G minor shaped. Okay, and then we have the half diminished, and that's what this this lesson is partially about. We're finishing up this topic. We would take the C shape and drop it down one scale member. So root 3 5 goes to 7 2 4, and that's